I'd like to welcome everybody to the Chelsea City Council meeting of May 19th. Scott Wygand, the council president, and we will call this meeting to order. First up, we will have our invocation by Pastor Dylan Green.
Hey, glad to be with y'all tonight. Let's pray. God, we thank you for the gift of this day as we get ready to celebrate Pentecost and the gift of the Holy Spirit to us that unites people across lines of culture and language. We pray that you would imbue this council with that very same spirit of love and truth, and that you would order all of their work to that same spirit of love. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us about some events going on in your church?
Yeah, well, the big one is we're getting ready to build a new worship space. We thought we were going to have a groundbreaking on Sunday. We're having to postpone that, but we're in talks with architects and builders to get ready to hopefully sometime this year break ground on a new worship space for us. So that's the big thing happening in our life. So
Fantastic.
Awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
That's exciting.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we will do the pledge. Councilman Grace.
If you'll please stand and face the flag. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Etheridge, if you'll please do a roll call vote.
Jonna Barnes.
Present.
Scott Wygand.
Present.
Chris Grace.
Present.
Arthur Fisher Jr.
Present.
Casey Morris.
Present.
We are all here. We do have a quorum, and that was not a vote, even though I called it that. That was just roll call. First up, we got the approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve it as written?
Council President, I make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. All right, that is approved. Next up is the approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion for that?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve our minutes from our May 5th pre-council and regular council meeting, and also our May 12th special called city council work session. Get that out.
All right, we have a motion for the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion on the minutes? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. All right, the minutes are approved. On to council business. First up, we will have the first reading of, excuse me, ordinance 1046. This is a rezone request submitted by Mr. Peter Kanakis for property located at the end of Mimosa Circle. Parcel ID number is listed. It's 14.5 acres, and it is going from AR to R2. We will have our first reading, Mr. Howard.
It's an ordinance to rezone parcel 15-3-07-1-001-001 from AR to R2 filed by TDR Building LLC. The property is on Mimosa Circle. It's approximately 14.5 acres, and the city engineer deems it appropriate.
Okay, that was the first reading. I appreciate that. Next up, we will have a public hearing on this ordinance. And to anybody, I didn't say it earlier, so anybody that wants to speak on this, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. If you have not signed that to speak on this topic, you need to. So is anybody not signed up that needs to? Okay, we're good. Mr. Howard, if you'll grab that, we will officially open the public hearing. And this is the public hearing for the ordinance that was just read. Mr. Okay. All right. Mr. Kanakis, would you like to present?
Thank you for having me. We would like to turn the property over off of Mimosa into nice 20,000-ish square foot lots. We're looking to get the zoning approved, and we would be very excited to add value to the city with beautiful homes. Here, if you've got any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. The way the public hearing will work is whoever is signed up. I think so. Mr. Howard, where's the list? Okay. will call your name. You'll need to say your name and your address, and then you'll get 5 minutes to speak. And first up is Miss Debbie Carney. I hope I said that right.
Hi, I'm Debbie Carney and live at 1460 Highway 36 here in Chelsea, and my husband John with me. We purchased the lot that's in the middle of the property being considered. At the time, we weren't able to buy the whole thing. We couldn't afford that, but when we saw this little lot, it's a little piece of paradise with a pond in the middle of this beautiful forest. Some of the neighbors also spoke at the Planning Commission meeting about the beauty of that forest and those old trees that are there. Our interest is primarily in preserving as much of that forest and green space as we can. That's part of what makes Chelsea so beautiful, is all the green spaces, especially as you come down 36. There's a pond on our property. We also have concerns about drainage. One of the neighbors showed us a picture when there was construction at one of the other homes in the neighborhood, not by this builder, but by somebody else. There was a big washout into his backyard and caused a lot of damage. So one of our concerns is about protecting our pond and the health and the ecology of the pond, since that's part of what makes that such a special place. And so that's just all we had. Thank you.
Thank you. She is the only one that signed up. Yes, sir.
Is it too late to sign it? No, I wasn't aware.
I will allow it. Just come up and state your name and your address, please, and you'll have 5 minutes. Is there anybody else that would like to sign up that missed signing up? Okay.
Hey, evening, I'm Frank Strong. I live at 137 River Birch Road, Chelsea, and I, addressed in the last meeting and mentioned my passion for nature, and I understand that Chelsea's growing. I know it's grown probably 400% in the time that I've been in Chelsea, and I know that it's a place that's very attractive to people. People from all over wanted to be here, and part of the charm that I mentioned the last time that attracted me, and I'm sure many others, is the natural setting and the beauty of Chelsea. And I understand that, as cities grow, and we're a city now of considerable population, and the trend just shows, growth going forward, including, it looks like, the neighbors that will be joining to where my property is. But I know that over the past 20 years that we've been in Chelsea, there is, I sit on my deck a lot, enjoy, outside, and the flow of traffic is much more frequent, as you would expect for a town that's grown by 400%. And the same, citywide. And I know that there's a lot on your plate, a lot on your table, but I guess what I would like to share is something for you to think and ponder going forward, that as you and the city deal with the issues that involve a city of this nature, the infrastructure and so on, that as part of that infrastructure, not just, and I'm sure you've already considered this, not just commercial growth, property, residential growth, but also the things that make Chelsea what it is. Chelsea, a beautiful place it's away from the urban areas, and I would ask for you to please consider, as I'm sure you may already have, how to implement in that infrastructure plan more green spaces for the city, more parks for the city, and more places where community can get together and join and have family, bring family, friends together. And so we need those kind of things. So that would be my plea. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to speak?
My name is Jerry Coffey. I live at 133 River Birch Road in Chelsea. My property, at the back of my property, adjoins the eastern edge of the property in question here tonight. I am not here to voice concern about the development. I know it's going to happen. I mean, it's just a part of life. It's gonna happen, whether we like it or not. I can deal with that. But what I can't deal with, there was a situation a couple of years ago on another part of that same hillside that was developed. And the first rain come through, and it flooded my backyard seriously, mud and water all across my backyard. To this day, I'm still dealing with that, okay? And I talked with Peter the other week, when we were here last week, the last meeting of the zoning board, or planning board, whatever it was. And I expressed my concerns to him, and he told me some things about what they do about that. And so what I would like to happen is if Peter would come up here and address you and tell you what he told me about what he's going to do to prevent that, if that's okay with the board.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Okay. Then that's everybody that has wanted to speak. Mr. Kanakis, would you like to address the concerns brought up?
Thank you again. Yes, I met with Mr. Coffey and just assured him that we would follow all the rules and regulations that are laid in front of us. We have better management practices that we must follow to be in compliance with ADEM. We need to take care of, we don't want to lose materials onto other people's properties, so we will put up the necessary guardrails to do so and do everything in our power to make sure that we add value and not hurt anyone. If there is, things do happen, there are failures, but we've dealt with this in the past. We know how to quickly clean up. I think what happened in the past, I can't say for certain, but the property that Mr. Coffey is concerned was up high, and there were very little BMPs used to protect. But we do everything that we can. We know, we've built for, 29 years. We know what we're doing, and we know how to protect our building sites, and we assure the city that we will do everything that we can to make it nice and to bring value to the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coffey, is that what he told you?
I just like everybody to hear what I heard, so that we'll all be on the same page.
Yes, sir. Okay, last chance before I close the public hearing. Does anybody else want to say anything? All right, I will close the, was that a hand? Oh, I will close the public hearing. I appreciate everybody being very cordial. And this was the first reading, so we will vote on this at the next council meeting, which is the first meeting in June. So next up, we will go on to Resolution 1396. Do we have a motion for this?
Mr. President, I make a motion we approve 1396, Resolution 1396, to authorize the purchase of a software package called Cloud Permit.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Mr. Mayor, can you give us some details on this?
Yes, this will be the purchase of software called Cloud Permit for our Building Services Department, and it will be used for permits, inspections, zoning, and code enforcement, and the total cost for the software and initial implementation is $31,620.
Okay. Thank you very much. Counselor, is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, that is approved. Next up is Resolution 1398, and this is for a new bank account. Do we have a motion for this?
Council President, I make a motion to approve Resolution 1398 to authorize opening a new bank account.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. This is a new bank account for the fire department for their billing. Is there any discussion on this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, that is approved. And next up is the bills. Do we have a motion for that?
Council President, I make a motion we pay our bills.
Sounds like a good idea. We have a motion to pay the bills. Do we have a second?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the bills? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, we'll pay the bills. Next up is our mayor.
I've got a gaggle of proclamations. I'm gonna start with the
A gaggle.
All right, the first proclamation is, whereas on July 4th, 2026, our nation will commemorate the semi-quincentennial anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And the journey toward this historic milestone is an opportunity to reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions of all Americans, and look ahead to the future generations who will carry forward the ideals of democracy and individual liberty that make the United States a unique nation in the world community. And whereas the great state of Alabama played a role in the American Revolution with the Battle of Fort Charlotte in 1780 that saw Spanish forces successfully seize the fort from the British, and whereas the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a non-political women's service organization established in 1890 whose members are descended from patriots of the American Revolution, and whereas through the President General's leadership, over the next 3 years, all daughters will illuminate our legacy through commemorating the 250th anniversary of the United States of America with intention and purpose by reflecting on the values of liberty, democracy, and the sacrifices made by those who came before us. Therefore, hereunto set my hand and official seal of the city of Chelsea to be affixed in the city of Chelsea on this, the 19th day of May 26, proclaiming the Alabama Daughters of the City of Chelsea will be celebrating the historic event with a Chelsea Fest and Big Kaboom on June 27th, 2026, to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the United States with the residents. So that's the proclamation.
All right, thank you for that. Council, do we have a motion to receive it?
Council President, I make a motion to receive proclamation commemorating July 4th, 2026 as a semi-quincentennial anniversary of the United States of America, which will be presented to Ann Harrison, who is the chairperson of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. And if you say nay, you have to say Sid and Quintin. I can't say it.
And she's not here tonight, right?
That could be her right.
Maybe. Okay. All right, second proclamation is for Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas there is a proven connection between good mental health and overall personal health, and whereas mental illnesses affect almost every family in America, and people with mental illnesses recover if given the necessary services and supports in their communities, and people with mental illness make important contributions to our families and our communities, and millions of adults and children are disabled by mental illnesses every year. Only 1 out of 2 people with a serious form of mental illness seeks treatment for his or her mental illness. And whereas stigma and fear of discrimination keep many who would benefit from mental health services from seeking help. And research shows that the most effective way to reduce stigma is through personal contact with someone with a mental illness. And whereas good mental health is critical to the well-being of our families, communities, schools, and businesses, and greater public awareness about mental illnesses can change negative attitudes and behaviors towards people with mental illnesses. Now, therefore be it resolved, I, Cody Sumner, Mayor of the City of Chelsea, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Chelsea, Alabama, and call upon all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental illnesses, reducing stigma and discrimination, and promoting appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental illnesses.
Thank you for that. Council, do we have a motion to receive this proclamation?
Council President, I make a motion to receive proclamation declaring May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And
Any
I'd like to
opposed,
also
say nay.
point out that, go ahead, you nays.
It's
No.
approved.
Chelsea City Hall is lit up gray this month, or green this month for mental health awareness. So when you drive by at night, you'll see the green lights on the building.
Very good.
All right, you ready for proclamation 3? For Stroke Awareness Month. Whereas stroke is a leading cause of serious long-term disability and death in the United States and affects hundreds of thousands of Americans each year, including many residents of the state of Alabama, and recognizing the warning signs of a stroke, such as sudden numbness or weakness, confusion, trouble speaking, difficulty seeing, dizziness, or severe headache, can save lives when individuals act quickly to call 911. And whereas education and awareness efforts increase the likelihood that our citizens will identify stroke symptoms early and seek prompt medical attention, significantly improving survival and recovery outcomes. And whereas lifestyle changes such as maintaining a healthy diet, engaging in regular physical activity, avoiding tobacco use, controlling blood pressure, and managing chronic health conditions such as diabetes and high cholesterol can greatly reduce the risk of stroke. During the month of May, national and local health organizations, along with hospitals, community partners, and public health professionals, work together to raise awareness and promote prevention strategies for stroke. Whereas the City of Chelsea supports these efforts and encourages all residents to learn the signs of stroke and take proactive steps to protect their health and the health of their loved ones. Now therefore, I, Cody Sumner, as Mayor of the City of Chelsea, Alabama, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Stroke Awareness Month in the City of Chelsea. And I encourage all residents to join in activities that promote stroke education, prevention, and support for survivors and their families.
Thank you for that. Council, do we have a motion to receive this proclamation?
Mr. President, I make a motion, we receive the mayor's proclamation declaring May 2026 Stroke Awareness Month.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. That is approved.
And do we have Brandon Matthews?
Brandy got here just in time.
I can sense when you need me.
Sorry.
One more, please.
Well, Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you for this. I'm here on behalf of Sanchez Tannehill. Sanchez is an Alabaster native who suffered a stroke at the age of 6 weeks old. Doctors told his parents he would never walk or talk if he did live, but today Sanchez is doing great with many effects from the stroke, but he's dedicated his life to awareness and serving other people. So he started God Did It Ministries many years ago, which is a nonprofit serving the city of Alabaster and surrounding communities, and this has become one of the main focuses, just to help people who are dealing with strokes and who don't have resources or support for people who've struggled with this. So his heart has been to raise awareness over the last few years, hosting many events for this, and so we appreciate you taking time to bring awareness to this for him. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we'll get an update from our library. Miss Amy?
So we're getting really busy at the library. First, Wednesday, May 27th, we are having a program with the Chelsea Historical Society in celebration of America 250. So that's for children at 1 o'clock. And then the next day, the 28th, we start registration and logging for summer reading, which this year is Unearth a Story. So there are going to be dinosaurs all over the library. So y'all come by, get registered, and then we will start programs the following week. On Monday, Safe House is going to be with us at 10 o'clock for our rising 6th through 12th graders, and they're going to do programs related to our summer reading program that they can explore their creativity and their emotional relationships, building good relationships. And then on Tuesday, we will have our first movie of the summer at the community center. That is Land Before Time, right in with our theme. And we will also have our first meeting of our Dementia Caregiver Support Group, which is starting with Tracy Lambrecht. There is a registration. She would like to know how many to expect. So if you know anybody that needs that, they need to register on our website. And then starting on Wednesday, the first week in June, we will be at the community center for June, July, and August for our Tot Time
and musical munchkin programs, so we won't be on the patio sweating. So y'all get on out to the library and get registered, and we will have lots of fun this summer. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. Brandy, do you have anything tonight?
Good evening, council. It's been a busy day here in Chelsea. Just want a reminder, we have our farmer's market and our food truck Friday again this week. The farmer's market had over 30 vendors last week, and it was so successful, I had at least 5 new people sign up that evening that they want to come out and join us. So it's really growing, and we really appreciate the community coming together and doing that and supporting all the local artisans. We also worked with another group. They were over at Westover Day, and we chatted with them, and they're going to have a car show here. So we're going to add that to the calendar. August, it's the third week, Saturday of August. I apologize, I don't know the date off the top of my head. It's so we have things continuing to grow on Saturdays. Obviously, we're working on Chelsea Fest. Our meeting went great. We're very prepared, and we're going to release a video to the public that helps explain the location, the traffic, safety concerns, things like that. But the mayor was able to arrange something great that I think we're going to love at this event is the safe trailer, which is for individuals who need a little safe space during the event if it's a little overwhelming. So it's like a sensory trailer, and then we're going to have some other non-for-profits that are there as well. So we're going to incorporate that, and I'm so glad you guys did a proclamation for the America 250, because that goes right along with our big celebration. So I'll let you guys know any new things that come up on the calendar. Is we're getting phone calls every day. Chelsea is growing in a great community way, and I love that, and I hope we can continue to do great things.
Thank you. And the only real thing I wanted to cover was making sure everybody's aware that the Liberty Road Bridge will be closing for, to be replaced, starting next Tuesday, May 26th. And they're planning to have it opened back up by August 5th. So if you're north of Liberty Road, you're going to have to use 433 to get to Highway 280, so that may create a lot more traffic in that area. So I want to remind everybody to use caution on those railroad tracks on 433 because they are not, there are no lights or arms on it. So there's a stop sign, so be sure to stop, look, listen, and so everybody can stay safe. So.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Next up, we will go to our community forum. This is an opportunity for anybody that wants to address the council. This is the time. So is there anybody that would like to address the council tonight? Please state your name, your address, and you get 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Jim Spahn, 3135 Chelsea Park Ridge. So I've got a couple of self-serving items that I wanted to bring up. One is restriping in Chelsea Park on 280 on Chelsea Park Drive, which I'll leave a map. 2, with the new development in Chelsea Park Ridge and Chelsea Park Bend, there's 36 or 40 homes going in there. I'd like somebody to look at that sight line coming out of the new development because it seems a little short, and I don't think there are plans for a stop sign there, but it might be appropriate. The other thing is, we've already contacted the HOA on that 280 turn lane, which is a disaster. You know, they should have really have left that alone, the DOT. You know, you guys had nothing to do with it at all. But if somebody could just continue to pressure the DOT a little bit on that turn lane, because it is very blind. It's more blind now than it was before they did their quote-unquote repairs. The other thing is budget. When does the budget appear for next year? Just curious.
We will start working on the budget this summer.
Okay. So I'd like for you to consider fitness equipment for the community center.
Done.
Is it done?
We're getting quotes on it right now.
Oh, super. Because some of those machines have been down for quite a while. And then the other thing, of course, when the budget comes around is, you know, the trash. Everybody always complains about the trash. And the council only had one bid the last time, so you're kind of locked, and hopefully that will change. And then all the new developments that are going on are in and around Chelsea. Are those development agreements available to be reviewed by the public? The only reason I ask is I have a little bit of a development background. I've worked for several different, and I'd just like to see what's in them. Because here's what I fear. With all these new developments, and a lot of it's spec, which is fairly common, my concern is some of the older strip centers that are here in Chelsea already, and what happens to those when these new developments come in. I think we need to be careful for a lot of vacancies, and then those strip centers will become run down, and some of them are already in need of repair. So I've seen that kind of thing happen several times. And all developers have a tenant mix plan. So when they present the tenant mix plan, you look at it and go, boy, this is great. But then in the end, what happens is if they can't lease up to that tenant mix plan, they're going to rent to anybody they can who's going to pay the highest rent. So I don't know if there's anything in those development agreements about that kind of thing. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. And then gas tax. The only reason I bring that up is because people are funny. You know, you'll drive down the road, there'll be 4 gas stations in a block. This one's $4.80, this one's $4.81, this one's $4.79, and you're going to go to the $4.79. Why? Well, in the end, you're only going to save a few bucks. You know, $3 when you fill up your car, or $30, so you're going to save pennies. So the timing of bringing up the gas tax was probably inappropriate. However, I'm willing to pay it because I think it's important, especially with everything that's going on. My only question is that still being considered? And if it is there a plan behind that? In other words, you start collecting the 1 cent. I mean, is there a roads plan? I'm sure, hopefully there was before you brought it up.
Mhm.
So the question is there a plan for this tax if in fact you consider it?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you.
Okay, good, good. And then a couple of pet peeves, political signs. You know, hopefully you have the ability to charge people if the city has to spend their time and money taking those signs down when all of this is over. Because that's what's going to happen. You know, somebody loses, they're not going to bother. Oh, sorry. Little bit of levity before I go, which is, you know, the old saying for us in Alabama is vote and vote often. This year we get to, up to 4 times between now and the fall.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, does anybody else, would anybody else like to address the council? All right. Council, would you like to say anything? All right, I would like to say a few things. First, we've got planning and zoning is not on the regular day. It is actually tomorrow. So anybody that wants to catch the planning and zoning committee is tomorrow at 6 o'clock right here. Today is election day, so if you have not voted, please go vote. That's our American right, and we need to exercise it. Next is congratulations to the Chelsea High School graduating class of 2026. They actually graduated today. They are very special to my heart. My daughter was one of them, and very proud of that. And to address your concerns as far as the gas tax and the timing, we're certainly aware of that. What's going on with the city and something we're working towards, and it was not something we were planning on working towards, is the Chelsea Police Department. So that is something that's been kind of dropped on our lap, and we were told we had to have it done by October of '27, which thankfully that's loosened up. So we're now discussing, and that's what is being reported and coming out, is the different funding options that the city needs to look at as far as funding for a police department. So gas tax is one of them. The city does not have a gas tax currently. The city receives gas tax from the state, which is not much, and we put that towards repairs and such. And so this would also, we pay for repairs and such from our general fund. So this would free up that amount from the general fund to go to the police department. So that's why we're looking at a gas tax. Yes, the timing's horrible. No, we're not considering doing it right now. But honestly, like, I feel like it's something that should have been done within the city 20 years ago. So we wouldn't be trying to play catch-up on infrastructure and such on the roads that do belong to the city. The city's also blessed with lots of new neighborhoods that have good roads, so that's kind of why the city's been able to defer it. Other things that we're talking about is the education tax. The city has put millions and millions of dollars towards our city school, or excuse me, our county schools. You got a new gym at Chelsea Park that was paid cash for. You've got a tennis complex going up next to the high school, all the renovations at the high school, a new gymnasium going up at the high school. That's their second gym that's grossly been needed for years. And that's just some of the things that the education tax has been going towards. It's also had a grant program that has poured millions into the schools directly to the teachers. It's something we're very proud of. And it's not something we want to cut and have to put half of it over towards the police department, but realistically, that's something we've got to consider. It's already income for the city, so it's something we've got to look at and consider. Maybe that's something we've got to do to lift this. We've got to find, we're estimating $5 million for a police department. We're already paying close to $2 million for our contract deputies, so we've got to find another $3 million. So that's all the discussions. There's going to be more tax talks coming up in the next work session in July, so I hope everybody will show up and pay attention. Like, we're trying to figure out how to pay this, what the most painless way to do it is, and, you know, can we use what we've got, and where can we tighten the city's belt to make things work. Sorry I got long-winded there, but I hope that was helpful. Council, y'all got anything else?
I'll echo on to Scott's great statement. We do not, as a council, have the intention to just continuously add taxes to y'all. We are being thrown into this situation. If you do not like this situation that you find yourself in as a county resident that resides in the city of Chelsea, I encourage you to contact your county commissioners. They need to hear from us. They need to know that the contract law enforcement that is being pulled from us by them is not something that we want. I've not heard one citizen come to me and say, we want a police department. So I strongly encourage you, just as much as y'all come to our meetings, reach out to your county commissioners and your county leaders as well to get information as to why they are making us want a police department.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I didn't hear anything about what I said. Oh.
All right, anybody else? All right, on that note, I will take the final motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.